Hello, fellow Bears fans. Welcome to my 2014 Bears video blog. Week 4, Packers at Bears postgame recap. Unfortunately, a very disappointing loss in this game. Did not get done what we needed to get done here. In this game, my defensive key to the game in my game preview was to contain QB Aaron Rodgers. We couldn't do that. We gave him way too much time in the pocket. A lot of people, you look at the stats, you might think that the secondary failed. Really, they didn't. There were a lot of open receivers found, but if you look at the open receivers, all those came when he had 5, 6, 7 seconds in the pocket. You can't give a quarterback that much time, especially a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, that much time in the pocket. He will find an open receiver. He's got receivers like Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson that if you give him 6, 7 seconds in the pocket, he's going to find an open receiver. Those receivers are going to get open. We just got no pressure on Aaron Rodgers whatsoever in this game. We're not able to get the pressure on him. That's what you need to do to beat a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, to get pressure on him. We couldn't do it, and that ultimately cost us huge in this game, not being able to get the pressure on him. If we get pressure on him, we probably win this game, but he was able to find way too many open receivers. The secondary didn't do the greatest job, neither did the defense as a whole, because we did not force them to punt once. We didn't get a single takeaway. But like I said, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, especially a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. And we just did not get that done. So what I'm going to do now is go to the stats in this game, team stats in this game. As far as first downs go, we got 33 to their 21. We beat them in that category. Total yards, 496 to their 358. We beat them in that category. Passing, they got 302 to our 261. Rushing, we had 235 yards rushing to their 56. Individual stats, player stats, Jay Cutler, 22 of 34, 256, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. The first pick was just Cutler. He threw it into a tight spot. He probably shouldn't have tried to force that one to Josh Morgan. That one was clearly on him, trying to force the ball to Morgan. Got tipped in the air and picked off by Matthews. The second pick, I'm not sure really what happened there, whose fault it actually was, whether it was Cutler's or Marshall's. Clearly they weren't on the same page. Cutler threw it. It looked like Cutler was expecting Brandon Marshall to sit there and go for the back shoulder throw and catch. Marshall took off upfield, leaving just a Packers player there, leaving just Sam Shields there to pick it off. So not a great game by Cutler, but 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not a horrible game, but the one interception, definitely Cutler's fault. The other one, like I said, I'm not sure what the play call on that one was, whether it was supposed to be a back shoulder pass. If it was supposed to be a back shoulder pass, and then that means Marshall screwed up running downfield. He needs to stay home on that one. On their side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, 22 of 28, 302, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Like I said, we just gave him way too much time in the pocket for receivers to get open, for him to find them. If you allow those receivers to get open and him to find them, he will find them. On the rushing side of the ball, Matt Forte had a good... I said it in my preview. Player to watch on offense this week was going to be Matt Forte. They didn't have the greatest run defense, and I looked for him to break out. He did. 23 carries, 122, 5.3 average. Rookie Kadeem Carey got some carries in this one. 14 for 72, 5.1 average. Jay Cutler, 3 for 21, and Alshon Jeffrey had 1 for 12. On their side of the ball, our defense showed up against the running game. 17 carries for Eddie Lacy, only 48 yards, only a 2.8 average. Aaron Rodgers, 1 for 8. Go to the receiving side of the ball. Martellus Bennett had another big day. 9 receptions, 134 yards receiving. Matt Forte, 5 receptions for 49. Alshon Jeffrey, 4 for 39. Josh Morgan, 3 for 24. Brandon Marshall, only 2 for 19, but also he added a touchdown. So did Alshon Jeffrey in this game. Cutler had 2 fumbles in this game, but both of them actually turned out great for us. His first fumble, he picked it up and ran for a first down. His second fumble, he picked it up and threw a pass for a first down. So those worked out. Defensively, we just weren't able to get the ball done, get anything done defensively. Mundy had 8 tackles, 8 solo. Jennings had 5 tackles, 5 solo. Willie Young had 4 tackles, 3 solo. Ego Ferguson was credited with a sack. I'm not sure where exactly that came. It was on it was for no gains, so it counts as a sack. I can't remember that play exactly, but still, defensively, we just did not get the job done in the secondary. Too many passing yards, but like I said before, I can't totally fault the secondary. I got to fault the front seven and definitely the front four. We weren't able to get pressure on the quarterback, and like I said a million times already in this post-game recap, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, especially one like Aaron Rodgers. We just had no pressure whatsoever. He had all day in the pocket, and he found the open guys, and that's what Rodgers is going to do. It's a disappointing loss here that takes us down to 2-2 and puts the Packers at 2-2. Just did not get the job done, and it hurts us huge because now we're 2-2. The Packers are 2-2. They hold the tiebreaker on us currently. Lions are 3-1 in the division. That puts us in a hole. We're 0-2 at home. Got to win those home games if you plan on winning your division. We got to pick it up at home. We're 2-0 on the road, but that doesn't matter. We got to get it done at home. Our next two games are on the road at Carolina and at Atlanta. We got to figure out ways to get big wins there. Atlanta got beat by Minnesota, so that's a good sign that maybe their defense isn't playing up to par, because Minnesota should not be able to put up the points they put up in anybody with no Adrian Peterson and not really. I mean, they got a quarterback controversy, whether it's Ponder and Bridgewater got hurt in this game. So we got some good looks coming up. I think we should be able to get it done against Carolina, and the Falcons haven't looked the greatest either. Move now on to my Monster of the Midway segment, which is my player of the game. On offense, I'm going to give my Monster of the Midway to Martellus Bennett, 9 receptions, 134 yards. Going to toss out an honorable mention here to Matt Forte, 23 carries, 122 yards, had a big game. On defense this week, I'm not going to give a Monster of the Midway. Not deserved at all. They rang up 38 points. We didn't force them to punt once. We didn't get a single takeaway. The defense just, as a whole, did not do their job. Like I said, I can't really fault the secondary here because really when you give a quarterback time in the pocket, the receivers are bound, at least one receiver is bound to get open, and Aaron Rodgers with time in the pocket will find that one receiver that gets open. I'd more fault the front seven, and especially the front four in this, not getting pressure on the quarterback. But really, nobody did their job on defense in this game. That's why I'm not going to give out a Monster Midway on defense. There's really nobody deserving of it this week. Just a very disappointing game on the defensive side of the ball. The only good thing that I saw out of the defense was what killed us last year was our run defense, giving up by far the most rushing yards in the league. The last two games we've given up 58 and 114. We gave up 114 to a Jets team that came in averaging 179 on the ground. So our run defense has been good. This game, just the front four did not get they stopped the run, but they didn't get the pressure on the quarterback. That hurt us big, knocking us down to 2-2, tied with the Packers, and obviously they have the tiebreaker on us right now, and also the Vikings were tied with them. So a three-way tie pretty much for second place with the Vikings and the Packers and the Lions leading at 3-1. Disappointing loss. Need to come back on the road next week against Carolina and get the job done. Hope for a little help. Early in the season, still got 12 games to go. No reason to get too worried yet. But definitely a disappointing loss here against the Packers at home. Can't do that. So look Friday evening for my Week 5 game preview. Bears at Panthers. Until then, go Bears, bear down.